Hello YouTubers, welcome to 2 awesome tutorials, and today I'll be designing a furniture which is going to be a table. So first of all, I have my Autodesk Fusion-360 open and I'm gonna select the plane for my sketch. So I'm gonna go to create sketch, and then I have 3 planes in different axes. You can choose whichever axis suits you the best to start your sketch. So I'm gonna start off with the top, which is going to be the wooden component of the table, which is also a rectangular in shape. So I'm gonna head to rectangle and I'm gonna go for center rectangle. I'm gonna start off with the center point, ensuring that each dimensions are equally distributed. So I'm gonna pick the length for my table, which is about 600 millimeter wide and 1000 millimeter in length. So I'm gonna give it dimensions, make it 600 wide and 1000 in length. So this is going to be my table top, which is the wooden component. I'm gonna hit on finish sketch and I'm gonna extrude it. Now choosing the width of the extrusion, which is about 25, and it looks alright to me, so I'm gonna go with 25. I'm gonna make sure that it's added as new component. So this is my table top, which is the wooden part of the table, and now I'm gonna start designing the frame of the table. To design the frame, you must have a concept of how your frame will look. So I'm gonna give it 4 legs, both of in the pair of 2s. So I'm gonna add one metal, you can say sheet metal here, and the other one on the other side. So now, starting with sketching the legs, I'm gonna choose one side of my model. I'm gonna click on create sketch and I'm gonna choose that axis. Now as you can see, I'm looking at the tabletop from the side. I'm gonna hit on rectangle, since my frame is looking rectangular. So I'm gonna choose one end of the table here, start sketching from there, and then we can start adding dimensions from there on. So I'm gonna click on this side to this side. It's choosing the middle axis, as you can see right now as I'm clicking it. So to fix this issue, we're gonna have to project this plane or this table onto our axis that we are sketching on. So I'm gonna click on this line here, which I need to use to start my sketching, and I'm gonna click on P to project it. So as you can see, the line is now projected onto the axis that we are creating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit rectangle again, and I'm gonna start sketching onto the projected line. I'm gonna give it a width for our frame, which we will add it now after we have created our rectangle. Now adding the dimensions onto the sketch. So the width of the frame is roughly about 10, and the length reasonably 35 will do. And then we're gonna take one side of the dimension, and we're gonna use this edge to keep the spacing even. We're gonna give it 45. So we have sketched one side of the frame, which will be used for our legs. And I hit OK. And now I can click on extrude and use the sketch profile that we have created to extrude it into our frame. I'm gonna bring it all the way out. So I'm gonna give it 550 here, which looks reasonable. You can use minus sign to change the direction of the extrusion. However, we want to make sure that we are not joining it with the wooden part of our model. So I'm gonna set it as new component. Okay. So we've got half of the frame without the legs attached to it, and now we have to attach the leg. For that we will make a new plane where we'll be making the leg, where we'll be making the bottom of the leg that is touching the floor. So we're gonna construct another plane for that, so we can create a sketch onto that new plane, which is on the ground. So we need to select the bottom axis here, the bottom plane. I'm gonna hide the component, use this plane, offset it to whatever height we want the table to be at. So about 300 looks just fine to me. Gonna hit OK. Now as you can see, we have created another plane which is our ground. So I'm gonna create another sketch onto that ground plane that I've created, looking at it from the top. And now we will make the sketch profile onto the ground, which will be later used to create loft from this end to the profile sketch that we will make. So clicking onto the rectangle again, whatever I create now will be creating on the axis that I've selected to sketch. So that will be ground. That will be the ground. Okay, that looks fine to me. I'm gonna give it inspecting tool to inspect the width of the frame, which is 10 millimeter, and the length of the frame, which is 35. Using the same dimensions, 35 for length and 10 for the width. As you can see, now we have the same dimensions, but we are not sure if that the ground profile is aligned perfectly to the frame here. So to make sure that the profile on the ground is aligned, we will have to use projecting tool once again. So I'm gonna click on this line and hit P to project it onto whatever we are whatever the axis we have selected. So as you can see, the lines are projected onto the axis that I'm sketching, and now I can use the dimension tool to align it to the one we are working with. So clicking on sketch dimensions, and choose these two ends, which is giving me the distance between these two. I'm gonna hit an integer value so it's easier for us to work on this. I'm gonna hit about from here to there, so yeah, about 150 looks fine to me. I'm gonna go with 150, and also making sure that it's aligned horizontally. For that, I'm gonna use the center point, and we have about 700 millimeter. However, we want to see it horizontally, so I'm gonna use the other side. This is about 220, but so now that we have given it 220, which is the dimension, which is the the distance between the center point of the table to the leg or to the frame leg of this line, so which is gonna be just about the same as the profile sketched onto the ground. Now that the new profile on the ground is fully dimensioned, we're gonna finish sketch and make sure the sketch is shown onto our screen. What we can do from now is use the loft tool from this face to connect to make a transition from this face to the profile that I've created onto the ground. For that, we will have to use a loft tool, selecting the face and the other end. As you can see, our loft is created, and making sure that it's joining to the main frame, and hitting OK. Now that we have created half of the leg, mirroring it to the other end using the center plane will help us to complete this model. For that, we'll use the mirroring feature. We'll click on the component. From here we can select on components and clicking onto the component that we have created. Now selecting the mirror plane, which is going to be the center plane. Now as you can see, the frame is completed. Clicking on OK. Now the two legs are completed. To make the other legs, to complete our model, we're going to use the mirroring tool once again. Components, selecting both of the components that we have created. Mirror plane, again the center plane, and as you can see, the other two legs are also completed. Hitting the OK button. Now you can see our sketch is completed. We have to add materials to it in order to render it with the materials added. However, the basic material, the basic model of CAD is completed. One more thing we'll add to this design to make it look better. We will add edge fillet to all of these four edges of the frame, hitting one edge, holding on to the control button and hitting selecting the other three edges. And then selecting edge fillet. We can give it values about 25. Yeah, 25 looks fine to me. Or a bit lower than 25 will do. 10 is too low. 20 looks perfect. I'm gonna click on OK. Now that our model has completed, we're gonna move on to adding materials to our table here. However, we have so many components here and we haven't renamed it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start joining two frames that I've created separately to make them as one component. So I'm gonna hold these two components together, use the feature combine, this one here and then this one, join them both together. Okay, so now you can see that the splitting profile is gone, and we have created one component for it. Doing the same for the next. Gonna hit them both, combine. Okay. So moving on to adding materials to the parts or to the components that we've created, I would like to add wooden or wood material to the top of the table, and for frame I'll be using stainless steel. So in order to add material, I'm going to choose my component, right click on it, and physical material. Now heading to metal. Now this is the top bit, so I'm gonna go with wood. You have different types of woods here. However, if you have something in mind, you can go with it. I'm gonna use walnut in my case. Then I drag the material onto the component that I've selected. As you can see, the appearance has changed. I'm gonna close this, and then moving on to our two frames. Physical material again. Now we will add stainless steel to the frame or to the legs of the table. I'm gonna go with normal stainless steel. Now I've added materials to my table, and our table is completed. And as you can see, the legs also is aligned to the ground, so it's not gonna have any problem standing onto the ground. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna render this table to have photorealistic images, which can then be used to market it or to show it to a buyer, or even to show your concept to someone who is supervising you. So in order to render it, we have to head to the render workspace, and we have a couple of options here. As you can see, we have appearance, which is to add colors, paint, or even materials to your parts. And then we have scene settings, where you can adjust your environment or the brightness. A lot of options are there where you can play around. We have decal, is more places an image on a selected face. So if you would like to import an image and put it onto the model, you can do so. However, in order to render the image, we have in-canvas render, which is quicker, and then we have the normal rendering option, which will be saved onto your computer or onto the Autodesk cloud. You can do the normal rendering. However, in this case, I'm going to use in-canvas rendering, which is a quicker option, an alternative to normal rendering. By clicking on in-canvas render, the rendering will start, and make sure you're not moving or you're not adjusting your view during the rendering is happening, or the rendering will be reset to 0 and will start again. Here it's up to you how much longer you wanna wait. The longer you wait, the higher quality you will get. So just make sure you get to excellent or final stage of your renders, and then you can go ahead and take a picture. So guys, this is it for this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more, and hit the like button if this video helped you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.